Back into the Brett Favre circumstance with our good friend Peter King from Sports Illustrated and NBC's Football Night in America, dolled up in the alma mater shirt of Ohio University, the Bobcats. Favre said he never texted anyone that he was retiring. Peter, how do we know what to believe when it comes to him?
Well, Tony, I think the biggest thing that you should believe is that 3 times in the last 2.5 years he has said, I'm not playing anymore. And he contradicted himself every time. He ended up playing. So what you should believe is basically that Brett Favre is going to play until they tear the uniform off his back and until he literally physically can't do it. And in this case, that's exactly what's going to happen. He's going to see James Andrews again. He's going to ask him, why does my ankle still hurt? When we had this surgery on May 22nd, it was supposed to be 4 to 6 weeks. I still can't run without pain. What's wrong? And assuming he can get the right answer to that question, you'll see him under center on Thursday night of the opener against the Saints.
All right, Peter, so we can explain the circumstances this time, but you mentioned there were at least 2 other times where he said he wasn't going to play, and then he played. You know Brett Favre pretty well. How is it that he is always involved in these things?
Because I think that he speaks his mind with what he thinks at the time. And a year ago, a year and a week ago, he was absolutely convinced that he wasn't going to play. And at the time that he said that, he believed it. He doesn't say this to say, hey, I'm going to do this and then I'm going to pull an Ali and 3 weeks later I'm going to come back. I'm going to say I'm retired. He says what he thinks at the time. Problem with Brett is he doesn't know that he's going to create such a firestorm at the time he says things. And so to me, what he has to do is he's got to be cloistered until he absolutely categorically makes a decision. He just talks too much, even though he really doesn't talk that much.
How does he not know what's going to happen when year after year after year the same thing happens?
Because in this particular case this year, he wanted to be sure that he was going to be right physically, and he didn't know whether he was going to be right physically. And I think that the hit he took against the Saints, the high-low hit in which Anthony Hargrove really kind of screwed up his ankle in that game, that hit, usually, hey, 2-3 months later, he's feeling okay. That hit lingered. But look, I feel the same way. Sean Payton texted me last night, as many people have said in the last couple days, and he has no doubt that he's going to be playing Favre, come that opening Thursday night. And I think we all feel the same way. If he can walk and chew gum at the same time, he'll be playing in that game.
Ocho Cinco tweeted today wondering why he and T.O., they get painted as attention cravers, and he says Favre gets honored. What do you think of that?
I don't. I disagree with him that Favre gets honored. I mean, Favre has taken more guff than Favre's taken a lot of guff for this. The reason why they're so upset is understandable, and I think they have a point. But I also think that a lot of times Chad gets himself in trouble. Hey, I'm going to change my name back to Chad Johnson if Darrelle Revis shuts me out. Well, he shut him out twice, basically, in 6 days, and said, hey, by the way, I was just kidding. Well, go tell Bob Costas you were just kidding.
I want to swing this to another pretty famous quarterback, Tom Brady. I keep seeing him down the line, perhaps in a uniform in the state of California, Peter. Am I wrong? What's his relationship like with the Patriots right now?
Well, I think his relationship has been better with the Patriots, and I think Brady is looking at his career right now and thinking, why did I have to play till the last year of my contract? In a year in which I'm making $2 million less than David Garrard. Why did it take this long for them to address my contract? And for years, Brady has said, look, you take care of the rest of the team, I'm okay. And now I think Brady is looking at it rightfully so and saying, hey, listen, you have to take care of my contract. And I expect the Patriots will. I think there could come a day where Tom Brady could play elsewhere, but it won't be in the next 2 or 3 years.
Thank you so much for joining us, Peter.
Thank you,
we appreciate
Peter.
it.
All right, man. Thank you.
We're taking a break.